with Brittany. I stand with Brittany in the breakup, okay? That's where I stand. I stand with Brittany in the breakup. We going to her side of the family.
Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Married at First Sight, Season 19 on Peacock, episodes 11 and 12. Decision day is near. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. Let's start off with Brittany and Will, because I was like, I cannot believe I could tell from his behavior that I was like, this is not like at the end of the episode, right before he said he called her. I could tell this was not giving sure.
Yeah.
I was like, he's making me unsure. He's making me question. And then it was just like, oof.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like I have been a little unsure the entire time with where he stood, like 100%. But I think it was when they were doing that little montage of their clips of like what they're thinking about on their time alone, where I was like, this ain't it. When you talking about, I'm writing down all the pros and the cons, and
that's what I'm
trying
talking
to
about.
hedge my bets on will. Can she learn? I'm like,
will she?
Harsh,
I know.
Harsh. I was like, ooh, child. That was the over-under. I was like,
yeah.
Ooh,
I wrote down in my notes, I said, damn, not him making a pros and cons list. And so I was like, I wrote, damn, he don't sound confident.
Yeah.
And then I said, I think she's a yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then it was like, boom. They just told us. I didn't expect them to tell us. I thought this was going to be the tease for the next episode.
I thought so
when he
too.
said, I just called her.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'll tell you, I'm with Brittany. I stand with Brittany in the breakup, okay? That's where I stand. I stand with Brittany in the breakup, okay? We going to her side of the family because, this is exactly what she was afraid of. But she gave him enough clarity around what her concerns were for him to be a little more clear with her. Because the way he responded to all of her concerns, I don't think was truthful.
Yeah.
I think it made me feel like, okay, Brittany, this is just who he is. He's not an expressive person. This is just who he is. He's not someone who just views it the same way you do, but it doesn't mean he doesn't feel for you. It doesn't mean he's not here. He doesn't mean he's not in this. And so it's like, adjust your expectations and accept where he is, accept like what he's saying as opposed to like what you're feeling. But homegirl was feeling what were the facts.
Right. Yeah.
Like she was feeling that he wasn't, like she was feeling it and she was right. And she carried it out or asked the questions in a very insecure and very like questiony sort of way. But I don't put his no on her and all of that. I think his no is about what he's looking for and she's not it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was like if she had been more secure or more settled and more calm, he would have said yes.
Yeah.
I think what she said, she's not his person. I think that was very accurate. And yeah, I mean, I don't think that helped.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think that helped.
Something switched for me with Will in the last batch of episodes when he clearly told Derrick exactly what his issue was. And I was like, and I don't know if that conversation happened between him and Brittany where he was just like, I feel like I cannot, say certain things, or I have to watch how I say it because of how she reacts. We saw it happen in this episode when they were on the boat and they were talking about their definitions of love. So I was like, okay, I wonder if this is the first time that she's hearing this, or this is the first time that she's like understanding it, like what's happening here. But I definitely was like, this has been his problem the entire time. And he has not given her, I think, the space to work on it because it was not announced. It was not. He didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? It's like he was trying to give her like the cookie cutter, like sugar coated response to everything because he thought that's what she needed. And so it continued to lead her on thinking like, okay, it's just the way that I'm like comprehending things and understanding the way he's saying things, when no, you do have issues and you're just not bringing them to me because of your fears of how I will respond.
Yes.
Because you're the one who actually can't handle the conflict, right? And so now you're hitting me with this slap in the face on the day of decision day to call me. I'm like, I know he don't think that this is him being considerate to call.
I mean,
I know he don't think that.
I do think it was that.
At the very last minute.
At the last minute, though, I agree with that. It's like you should have been doing this the whole time. And I know, like, everybody's been fussing about Brittany and, like, her insecurities around, like, wanting him to tend to certain things that she needed tended to. And I totally think that that's valid. Like, she was being not secure in, like, it's not even insecure. Actually, it is insecurity. It's insecurity, but I'm not trying to say she's an insecure person. She's just insecure in the relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't giving her enough security to feel grounded in the fact that they had a foundation.
I do think, though, but yeah, the way that she presented her questions and her statements was like I'm trying to pull something out of you. So she wasn't as direct as she could have been with her questions. It's like you asked something because you wanted a specific response, when really you could have just said, like, okay, this is maybe where I expect us to be by this point, or this is how I would have liked to feel, or this experience is not giving me X, Y, and Z. And so can you do more of whatever this or that is, instead of like, I feel like it was like a, do you love me? Do you like me type of thing, instead of I'm not having a good time in this. This actually is not making me happy. I don't appreciate the experience that I'm having, and I'm trying to figure out where our breakdown is at.
Yeah, I think that that's like sort of like what we were touching on in the last episode, that she isn't in touch with what she needs and what she wants, or she's not sitting in that and saying, like, this is what I want. And they not meeting. They're not in the same space. And so I think that's part of that conversation that you're highlighted. And I think that that's a valid point. Like, she didn't raise that. I think also what I'm speaking to is like how she went about everything, and like, just, it was a lot. Yes. But I think lost in all of that is that everybody's focused on that is his behavior, and the fact that, like, you hit the nail on the head. He was not being honest with her because he's afraid of her response. He's afraid of how to deal with that, yada, yada, yada. And so it's just this lack of honesty about where he is. And it's like, a lot of times I feel like men will put that on women. Like, I can't do this because of how you respond, or whatever the case may be. But her responses were never like, it's a difference from Rhonda's response. Right. Like, Rhonda start belittling that man, or start criticizing him, or start saying whatever, and getting all, animated. She got animated too, but it was more of like a sad, and her emotions are sad, but that's reality. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? The reality is that you are not the man who feels about her the way she wants to feel. Let her process that. Let her get that information, because it's like, sometimes it's also, I feel like people feel like, oh, it's gonna ruin the relationship, or what could be, if I tell her, like, I'm not feeling her now, or I'm not feeling this and this and that, so it'll ruin my chances of getting to see if I could. But it's like, that's just the facts. Yeah. It's just life. Yeah. It's just life.
And it's such a unique experience, like, I don't think no matter how much you want it to end up being a fairy tale, the reality is you just don't know what's going to happen. So it's like you cheat yourself and the other person out of the experience when you're not being honest with yourself. And even his mother was like, no, you get defensive. No, baby, you need to be comfortable getting out of your emotional shell and expressing yourself. Yeah. And I'm sitting here like, Brittany, blink twice if you need help, girl, because his mother is telling you he ain't got it. He's not. This is him. Like, it has nothing to do with you.
And go ahead. On the mom, though, I wrote down, I remember, like, she was, for me, much more personable and wise than I expected her to be. I expected, like, I don't know, I was just like stereotyping or typecasting him into like the type of person who would have a mother that was very meek and very mild and like not expressing herself or whatever, because he gave very like I don't want to say soft spoken, but he gives very like he's very gentle in the way he approaches things. So I was like, okay, this mother might be like a gentle type of woman, and not that she wasn't gentle, but she was very clear and very direct, and she seemed to have like a very grounded personality. And I was like, okay, mama. She was giving me very like regular black mama. Like, you know what I mean? Like she had some things to say. She said it, and so I was surprised by that. But there was one thing I want to say about relationships in general that all of these episodes or all the couples have, and especially them, have made me realize is that like so many relationships just in general are this shit. You get what I'm saying? Are like the stuff that the couples are dealing with, it's literally like the same because it's a lot of times people are attracted to each other, but on a person to person level, their energies don't match, their personalities don't match, they're not aligned in how they want to live their life. And so these same ass issues that these people are running into, Derrick, Megan, Brittany, Will, all of them, it's like they still exist because they're attracted to each other, or we're attracted to one another as people, but then it don't mean that you're just strangers still. Your person, you know what I'm saying? Like your personality is not necessarily in alignment, and it's just I had that revelation sort of like while watching, or that thought while watching these couples, because I'm like, this is real life stuff. All of it. The Belinda chat, like, because I'm like, the couple that you think is doing good and they not doing good, and it's like that's just how the real life relationships play out, because the attraction ain't got nothing to do with whether you are actually in alignment on the day-to-day stuff that's gonna make your life function and be easy.
I will also add to that and say like this is a very like on paper they fit type of experience, because it's based on how you answer questions, how a personality profile might come up, and you're like, okay, these things work well together, but the essence and the soul of somebody does not come through data. You know what I'm saying? And so you can match people all day long based on these certain check boxes, but it does not mean that their souls are going to align and fit well. Which I think is why on the like in the flip, right? Like Love is Blind, they get to have kind of like this soul to soul connection because they don't see each other. They're just talking. And so it's really just off of vibes only. And then they have to apply all these other checkboxy things. And then it's like, okay, can the two align? And so it's like, you really need both sides of it. Like, truly, in order for it to work.
Yeah. One interesting thing that I noticed this episode, or that came about this episode, is like, he said, "I love you."
No, I jumped.
Will said, "I love you."
Wait, I said, "I love you." Okay, I'm like, what?
I thought we was going towards an "I do" with that.
I did. I really did. Said, oh, they are in it. I've surrendered. Brittany and Will make it. That's exactly what I thought in that moment. I was waiting to hear the in the preview from the last episodes, it was like she said "I love you" while they were on the couch, and he was like, "Wait, what type of love?" We didn't even see that. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, we didn't.
It wasn't
see that.
In this episode.
Unless that was just a different angle of he said what type of love, but then it wasn't. She didn't immediately look up at him with that face, so it wasn't the same shot or the same clip. So I don't know what happened with that, but I agree with you.
Clip farmed us with that one, but. I was shocked when he said that. I was like, oh, okay, they are making it down the aisle. And even that conversation they had on the boat, I was like, okay, they came to a resolution. They talked it through. Brittany is showing some growth. She's coming to the middle, I think, by like saying like, no, I apologize for making you feel this way. I'm trying to hear you out. Even though in that moment, I didn't feel like she needed to apologize, because all she did was point out the truth. Y'all see it very differently, and she has to learn that it's different.
I had to rewatch that one because I rewound it. Like the first time I watched it, I was kind of passively watching it too much, and I felt like I agreed with him and his. No, I agree with her and her perspective. And then when I rewound it, I was like, I guess maybe I see his perspective a little bit more. So I don't know, but I do like exactly what you said. I was feeling like they are moving towards a yes. And the way he was just being all lovey-dovey, he was pulling her clothes, tickling the feet. He was doing all the kind of things that made me feel like, yes. And I said to myself, I said, their issue is, I think, these cameras. I think when the cameras leave, they're going to be able to settle a little bit more. They're going to have a little bit more on his side. I felt like he will open up a little bit more, because I was like, I felt like what we were seeing with the playfulness and like the grabbing, I was like, this is him coming out a little bit more. It felt like that. And so, like you said, I believed in it. And so it wasn't until he started talking about a pros and cons list, I was like,
yeah, literally. I was like, oh, y'all played us for the fool, baby. But in the preview, it showed that they were still sitting there with the experts. So, and she's like, fight for our marriage. Like, we can make this work. So I
ain't see the previews.
Yeah,
they still
sat there with the so they sit there with the experts to kind of go over, like, summarize the experience, and then they say their decision. So that's how it goes on decision day. So they still went through.
I don't think.
I thought when he called, it was a wrap. They weren't even making it to the actual.
Well,
thing.
I think that he did that, like, as we were saying before, or as I was saying, a courtesy to her, because I think that I think they probably still maybe contractually still go through with the decision day thing. I don't know. I've not watched it before if people leave before that point. But yeah, I feel very duped by him and disappointed, because I feel like this was a lack of honesty overall on his part. And I don't think she should fight for it. Not saying, like, if he comes to clarity on his own, like, not clarity meaning, like, if his clarity is him being interested in her, then cool. If he comes down on her, I'm not saying she shouldn't take him back if that, but I think one thing a man gotta be is he gotta be sure about you. He gotta be sure about you. And he's giving iffy all day.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating people in the comments maybe saying, like, being on Will's side on this, and it's just like, he didn't show up. He didn't show up as the full honest version. And so all this time we over here talking Brittany's behavior down, saying, like, he's just like this. You have to learn how to see love the way he's doing it, not the way you want him to. Like Belinda said, he's showing love the way he knows how to. But no, it wasn't that. I don't think he was showing love. I think he was showing the hesitation that he experienced. But anyway,
there was a comment on our last recap about how maybe potentially Will used the fact that he was super intelligent to kind of navigate his way through this experience. And I not all of it I agreed with, but I can see how potentially, like, if you feel like you are superior in some ways, it's like you give just a little bit. You're going to throw a little carrot out there to make the rabbit come to you a little closer, but it's just going to be a little bit, right? And then they're going to be able to feed on that little nibble for a bit, and then you kind of pull back, and it's like that give and take sometimes that I think anybody is capable of, but we see it happen with men all the time. Quite frankly, I've been in a few situations with men. They give you a little bit, you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm satisfied, and then they start taking back to get you into this, like, emotional power struggle. And I do think a little bit of that could have possibly been happening, especially because, like I said before, Will so clearly said it to Derrick after that pickleball. Like, he so clearly said it. And it's like, why couldn't you have said this to Brittany? If you said exactly this to Brittany, she would know where your reservations are. But you keep saying nothing is wrong. There's nothing that you need to change. And it's not going to change. So it doesn't matter. There's no reason to speak on it. That's how he kept coming to her with stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in the back of your mind, you always had these reservations, and you never gave her the chance to rise to the occasion, to work on these things. And so maybe there was a little bit of emotional manipulation and using your intelligence and wordsmithing. Well, I said exactly this, so it is this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Girl, I'm getting a little triggered.
Child,
I'm like,
it's been trigger central over here. Okay,
I know, right? Like, it's interesting, because I would say I have always always enjoyed dating intelligent men. Maybe a time or two, somebody that may not have been. But for the most part, they have been intelligent. And some of them, that's why I'll be quick to be like Asperger's or something, because I done run across some of those Asperger's ones, right? I mean, very subtle things. It's like they're very intelligent. Some of them have leaned on the cocky side. Some of them have just leaned on the I'm very intelligent with you. I'm here, we're vibing, but I don't do well in like larger social settings. And so it's interesting to hear you say that, like this person leaving that comment about like the intentionality of it. And I think that there is some intentionality possibly that I've seen before happen that I think I can see in him, but it's not necessarily like ill-intended. It's like a defense mechanism it gives. It's like, I don't feel comfortable in this setting you want to put me in. I don't feel comfortable being vulnerable. Really, that's I think the discomfort. And so as a defense mechanism, I'm going to lean back into what I do feel comfortable in, and that's in my intelligence. And so I'm going to operate with using that to like manipulate the situation as I see that's a little bit more comfortable for me.
Yeah.
So I can resonate with it. I don't know 100%. Of course, none of us know 100%. But I was like, I just want to re-emphasize, I'm disappointed in this man because I really was out here like thinking like, okay, this is just how he operates. It's just how he shows love. He does love you. Believe what he says. And it's like, I'm not trying to say he was faking with her. I don't think that. But I think every uneasy feeling she felt had a source. And the source was him having an uneasy feeling about her. Right. And I think he should have vocalized
it. 110%.
At the times when she raised it.
Yeah, 110%.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do we have anything else on them?
No, we shall see how this play out next week, honey. But yeah, child. Should we move into Chad and Belinda?
Yeah, they surprised me. I don't think they're making it.
I said, I see why Chad has been through this 4 times. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I said, baby, Chad, Bayou Chad is coming out the closet. Do you hear me? And he was doing a little gaslighting up in there because the way he tried to manipulate what a text message says is quite bizarre to me. He said,
"Are you talking about what the Jalen thing?
Yes,
and Jalen and Josh thing."
He said, "I text Josh, and this is what was said." Jalen and Jalen talked to Belinda. Jalen's like, "I saw the text messages. That's not even what happened." And then the experts interject, Dr. Pia, I think, and she's like, well, we're having a perception difference. And I'm like, this is not a perception difference, sweetheart. Perception comes down to one thing was said and you understood it differently. This is simply he's lying about a text message. Granted, we don't know. We didn't see a text message. We ain't see no screenshot or nothing like that. But do I see Jalen coming up to the cameras in front of her mama saying, no, that's not what I saw? When Jalen has an issue with lying herself, I don't see why she would make an unnecessary lie.
Yeah, I don't think she was lying. I do wonder if there were other communications, other like if Josh had said this, then I would be like, okay. Chad, I keep wanting to call Chad Pat, but Chad, what's up, buddy? You're kind of like reading this completely wrong. Why would you say that, right? But I give him the little bit of grace that maybe Josh and him had a conversation that Jalen is not aware of. You know what I mean?
That could also be true.
Maybe there was something. Yeah, like so that's the only thing, grace on that. So I wasn't jumping up and down on that, but to your point about the experts coming in and saying what, trying to smooth it over, I was like, I'm not feeling that because here we go again with somebody saying they're having an issue with lying. And the solution is this Band-Aid solution where she's like, are you both in agreement to not lie and to tell each other the truth moving forward? Like that was the solution. Yeah. It's like a liar gonna lie through that. too. Okay,
Yeah.
like I don't understand how this is a solution. Like so. Like, can we not because it was too much focus in that conversation to me on Belinda and the trauma that Belinda experiences or whatever, or has experienced, and how that may be affecting her, and this may be triggering her. It's like, yeah, that might be something to think about after as a ending thought.
Yeah.
But let's deal with the meat of what she's raising, that she thinks he's lying,
Right.
and that she has. I don't know if she raised the issues about like him speaking for her or all these other things, but it's like she's seeing something accurate in Chad, because I see
Yeah.
I'm like, something ain't right in how he a little grumpy
Yes.
and a little cranky, and she picking up on something, and y'all sitting here trying to like teach her about like, okay, maybe it's the trigger, maybe that trigger is working.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's like something is here, danger.
Maybe if I was in that room, first of all, I would have applauded Belinda when she said, I've created a safe bubble and I want to stay in that. And I'm like, that takes a lot of courage to have boundaries enough to say, when I see something, I don't want it in my space. I've created peace around me and I want to keep that. And no, just because you guys are putting me through this experience does not mean I need to allow toxicity in my life, like to say that I'm married or to say this experience worked. We're not doing that. I didn't like that either. And what made me feel like he actually was lying was when he said, I mean, I didn't feel like I was lying. I didn't think I was lying. To me, I was like telling the truth. It's like, that is such, to me, that is gaslighting. Because what do you mean you think you were telling the truth? You didn't think you were lying. Like, you are a 40, 50 something year old man. You don't need to think about whether or not you are lying or not. It's either the truth or it's not. And again, we're not talking about perception. We're talking about a conversation you are saying that you had. So, on text.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only grace, because I like, maybe I'm not quick to think someone's lying, but maybe also I have different like sort of blind spots, because I've been lied to. For real. And so I think I have blind spots on certain types of people, and maybe Chad is in my blind spot, because I'm giving him grace about this, because I still want to know what Josh has to say, if because like, homegirl, why Jalen all in his phone? She just like, scroll. Okay, I'm up to date. I know all the texts. Boom, here you can have your phone back. Like, I'm not clear about, like how she can be the definitive source on like authority on like whether the text came through or not. It just, I'm a little unclear about that.
I do hear you.
So
on
that's the
that.
only grace I give him with that. But yeah. But I speaking on the therapist thing, I just want to make this small point, and I'm not coming for therapists. I know you are a therapist.
What you gotta say, Kamaria?
I'm not coming for y'all at all, because I think it's important. But I like, how people sometimes they're going through, they're in therapy, and it's like they ain't getting no better. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes some of the concerns that I can have in those situations, or the reason why I think people really do need to like be like the CEO of their mental health, and like, yes, your therapist is like a consultant, but you gotta be grounded in your shit, because sometimes they're not clear on what you see. You're the only person who sees everything. You know what I'm saying? You experience everything, your thoughts, your whatever. You come and you telling them the situation. You might have left out some stuff. They don't see everything, and they don't have the read on it the way you might. And so it's like there's a level of like trusting yourself that you have to do. And the therapist, I feel like, is a consultant. And a lot of times people, I feel like, take the word of the therapist as God and all this other stuff. It's like they're a consultant in my view. And I have a firm view of like where I am and what I need. And I'm reaching out to them to help with clarity and clarifying the things where I'm a little stuck or whatever. Because I don't think in this situation she gave enough credit to Belinda's lived experience with Chad. Because I was like, he's a cranky man. Yeah. He's not a peaceful man, except when he on that doggone bottle. Okay, he coming.
Hey baby,
and I was like,
let me.
I know, he's coming smooth. And then the therapist asked when they were there, she asked him, she was like, how do you deal with stress? And he wrote down, I wrote it down. He listed Hold
He
on, wait a
did say
second.
get
Let
a
me see where
drink.
I put it. Where I put it. No, he didn't say no drink. I was like, he left that shit off. I didn't hear no drink. I heard the gym. I was like, now, Chad, come on now. Gym, you ain't at the gym. Like, let me not play him like that because he could be at the gym. But I'm like, Chad, like, you ain't mentioned that bottle. Okay. He's like, go fishing, go outside. Maybe, okay, maybe the fishing go outside. He said go to the gym. But I'm like, you got a little nightcap, baby, that you handle your stress. Because even when they came there to have that conversation, he was like, is it Arnold Palmer? Oh, that's not a drink.
No,
Is Arnold Palmer
that's
just
lemonade and
and
tea.
Okay. Because I was like, what you asking for? You want to be sober for this conversation? But okay.
But he did say something
mistake.
about his
But he
nightcap
drinks.
his little night routine having a drink though. At some point, it might not have been in that conversation.
When she asked about the stress relief, I ain't
Yeah,
hear
it
that.
might not have been in that
like,
conversation, but it was at some other point because they kept him and Belinda kept going back and forth about how he likes to wind down on his night, and so that might have been another conversation. But he did mention, I want to, get a drink and da 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 da. So, yeah. But yeah, he could have definitely not mentioned it then for sure. But yeah, he do be feeling good when he on that goose, and Chad, to me, he was just giving a little. I don't know. I have lost faith in Chad. For real, because to me, he was giving condescending. I thought he was gaslighting when he was like, you're willing, but do you want to? It's like willing and want are the same thing, my friend. And
I actually felt him on that. Because I think what he was trying to tease out with the willing and the want to. I mean, I didn't feel him on that part of the conversation because it felt like they were just, I'm like, y'all just out here trying to battle each other and like you trying to one up. So it was like, it didn't need to be stated, but I do think there's a difference. Like she can drag herself to it, or she can be like, I desire to do it because I see something in you and I want to, but you're frustrating me. Like I've been in both situations where it's like, I'm willing to move forward, but it doesn't mean that I'm wanting to. I'm like full-heartedly wanting to. And
yeah, but I don't think that's what he was pulling on. He was pulling on a power struggle, and he wanted to be he wanted to be condescending in that moment because he thought because he came in with this apology and I shouldn't have did that. It was out of line or whatever he said in the beginning of that conversation, that she wasn't allowed to address her concerns in the same conversation. Like he thought it was going to be I apologize and now we move forward. That is what he was expecting in that conversation, but he did not. It was given because Belinda stood firm in that conversation. I was proud of her for doing so.
She did.
Okay, I said,
she said, all right, well then let's go.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
When she said like, how is it that you can tell me what you think, but for me it's arguing when I'm telling you what I think, right? Like, so he thought that he was going to be able to say, I'm sorry, put a little bow on it, get some flowers and keep it pushing. He do not want a strong woman, point blank period, baby.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And I think like people hear that and it's just like a blanket term, strong woman. It's like, what that means, he does not want a woman who is going to stand firm about the way she desires to have her life and be willing to leave or be willing to not give you no sugar. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not showing up like a woman who's being treated well if she's not a woman who's being treated well. That's what I think is a very like a hallmark of being a strong woman, and she's willing to vocalize those those things. And so a lot of times I feel like that gets a bad rep, like, oh, she's a strong woman, or like it gets labeled as difficult. And it's like, no, we are having two different experiences in this, and I'm not about to forsake my experience for you so you can have the experience you want to have. And so kudos to her for that.
No, for real. He didn't want her. I think he was like kind of thrown off by her being able to communicate well and like in that conversation, not just like submit and lay down and say okay. So that's why I'm like, Chad was lying.
Because he the one, truth be told, that cannot have like the conversation. Like he not the one. He's the one that's not like able to vocalize and communicate and clearly state what it is that like he needs,
Yeah.
because all this stuff coming about because he want to sleep in the other room, or like not sleep because the dog's in the bed. Like he's like, oh, I know you don't want. It's like you again need to state what it is that your needs are, and y'all can find quicker if y'all not in alignment. Y'all not in alignment,
Right.
okay? Then you can just find quicker. You can find that out quicker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you could go your separate ways quicker instead of doing all of this.
Yeah.
And it gets more and more difficult because your emotions are all tied
Right.
in. So, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah. So anything else on Chad and Belinda? We ready to move into Morgan and Derrick?
Yeah, Morgan and Derrick.
All right. What you thinking?
Baby
What you
is
thinking? What you
coming.
thinking?
I mean, I think they're gonna work because Derrick. I wrote down. I was like, Derrick is he that husband. He a husband.
Yeah.
Okay, he a husband. And so she done lucked up. She is Lady Luck
Yeah.
because she did not look. She lucked up.
She did.
Derrick he a good one.
Yeah. I was like,
He a good one. He caught. Yeah, he a good one.
He wants to be a father and he wants to be a husband. I mean, that being
and a good one too.
Yes.
I think he wants to be a good one.
Yes, and I feel like that being a goal for a man, like a value for a man, is really big. You know, like some men they get married because they're like, oh, okay, I've been doing this for a long time. It's time to settle down. You know, got to figure life out. But he's like, no, I'm moving with the intention of laying roots. You know, like I want this in my life, and so it's hitting a little different for sure. But yeah. But I said, okay, Morgan, she said I could do 3. She was like 3. I said he done convinced you
I'm
into
like
the 3.
finally,
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
That was cool. I was like, y'all on the same page, y'all vibing. I was surprised when they told the mother, even though she thought it was a joke at first, when she found out that it was for real, she didn't have enough of a reaction for me. She was just like, okay. All right.
It was given she still didn't believe it.
Girl.
Like she wanted to see the ultrasound pictures or something. Like I said, damn, Morgan, you must joke all the time because your mama can't even believe 2 pregnancy tests.
Yes. And then it takes you back to the episode when she did all the pranks. It's like this come from somewhere. She a pranking heifer. Like that's what she do. Okay. And so her mama ain't believe her. But I was like, they weren't surprised. They weren't giving like they would have killed my buzz. I would have been like, low key right now. I would have spoke on the fact that they weren't excited enough. I would have been like, look, okay,
straight up.
You need to you about to have another grandchild. Right. Okay. Your first from me. I need you to show a little more excitement. Okay. Yes. Like that would have been like, I would have had to speak on it.
She was giving, are y'all ready?
Manufacture it.
Can y'all do it?
Right. It was, you would have killed my buzz. I'm like, I ain't telling you no more. You gonna find out at the delivery. Shoot.
I was really proud of them this episode. You know, the statement that they again clip farmed us to make it seem, because I thought she was being defensive when she said we don't have to be together. But it seemed like they were just having like a real conversation. Like this is still the experience, the experiment, and so you know whatever happens, not whatever happens, but it was given we're just having a real conversation. We're having a conversation about the reality of our situation, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. But, yeah.
I was like, he could have told her about the little pink chip, whatever the heck that was in her hair. I was like, come on, Derrick. She had a little pink when they were having that conversation.
Oh, child, I was
sitting down there talking about that. Oh, yeah. She had a little pink something. I was like, you could have just pluck that thing off for her. But back to the baby conversation with the parents though, her parents. It was interesting that the dad was all like, y'all didn't waste no time. Like I was like, y'all got to wait to it. When he said something, he was all excited. I was like, okay, Dad, pipe down. But he was like, y'all didn't waste no time.
He probably like, oh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign y'all are active. As men know, that's important for men, okay?
I ain't got time. But yeah, I was like, this is interesting. But yeah, you know, they had the kids. And I was like, that's good. They had the 3 kids type of thing. You know, Derrick doesn't give me any concerns about kids.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we'll see. She might just be like in the moment, like it all feels good. I love, you know how you be like, oh, I love seeing my man around the kids and he's putting stuff up and
that might have got her
cleaning.
to the 3.
She probably like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do the 3. Cause
take note, men. Like that's what gets the women. Like you start being like, okay, not even about babies, but you just start seeing the guy differently when he do the stuff that need to be done, and you're just like,
there's a trend right now.
He's a keeper,
right? There's a trend right now going on. Like I'm always talking about what's going on TikTok, but it's like 7 things. Like the middle be like 7 things women do, non-sexual things that women do that are like a turn on, and the same thing for women.
Okay.
So it's always like, like the subtle things or like the do it yourself things. But it's a really cute trend. And so I feel like how Derrick is showing up is like in that list, that 7 things list.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, T. So anything else on them, or let's go ahead and head into Pat and Rhonda.
Yeah, Pat and Rhonda. Yeah, they're still doing. It's still the same for me.
Yeah, same.
She cursed too much, in my view, though. I meant to say this a couple episodes back, like when they were first sitting down with the experts, and then she was like, "And I fucking something," and I was like, "Bitch, like." Watch your tone. Yeah. Like, I understand. You couldn't be in no conversation upset, heightened with me using curse words. It's a problem. Yeah. Like, I'm going to take those curse words as you're cursing at me. You can't. No. Yeah, like, I'm the same way. No.
Yeah, it's so harsh. It's like not necessary. Granted, I'm a cuss. I be cussing, maybe, but.
No, I curse too.
When I'm talking to my partner, especially for having, I know, especially when we're having like a serious conversation, it's definitely no curse words coming out of anything, because it just adds an extra layer of misunderstanding, in my opinion. Or it invites it. It invites it because you don't know where it's coming from. And
it's inflammatory.
Yeah. But she's Rhonda again. She's just so critical. It's annoying. Like when he was like, "Yeah, I should have done better with coordinating," and she was like, "Interesting choice of words to use coordinate instead of invite." It's like, girl, what is the difference in this specific scenario? What is the difference when you have an issue with how it was done? You have an issue with how it was coordinated, quite literally. Like, I literally cannot take another speech from her. Like, she sat down, she's like, "I just want to revisit. You always want to revisit something. I want to go back to this. I want to do this. I want to talk about this." And it's like, I said in this one, I was like, she might not be all right all the way.
I think she just used to being by herself too much. I feel like people who are used to, I feel like I find it in men more than women. Like, but when they're used to being by themselves and they get up there in age, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking 40 plus, it really does, like, they don't always function well with somebody else. They don't always partner well with somebody else because they're so used to doing it how they want to do it. And so every little thing that's outside of that, it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's with her, is that she's just used to being by herself, and she has this maybe imagination about what she think partnership or what a partner or romance would look like. And every time he steps outside of that, she's like, well. And it's like, he been in a relationship for what is most of his life, right? With his ex. He know that you gotta give. So he comes giving. He gives. He's like, "Oh, okay, I'm just being flexible." Yeah. Those people who be like by themselves or like they're serial daters, like that's what I find in men. Because most men, they gonna find them somebody. You know, they not single by themselves. But they're not making a long-term thing work. And so I find that that's just really like, they be stuck in their ways, and they're rigid. They're not used to the being limber. You got to be limber to be in a relationship. Yeah. And I think that's what it is with her. It's like, she's not as limber. She's limber in life, trees, whatever, kiss the trees, whatever. But she's not limber in terms of like what she expects to happen and embracing things that don't necessarily happen in accordance with what her expectations are. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, she is not limber at all, because I'm gonna go back to what her son said in episode 1 which is what I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I held on to it by the way she reacted to it. She seemed like she was a little shocked that somebody would say something about her. And I don't know. She is just too into her self, almost to the point where it's like
for sure.
She wants to be like adorned and praised and like you know, have like she wants everyone around her to like have this reverence for her and how she's feeling, but she doesn't give it back. I don't know. So to me, it ain't all together for sure. It's given I want to present.
There was something.
What?
No, go ahead.
She wants to like present like she's this free spirit, all encompassing. And a lot of people who act like they all free spirit and spiritual and they all out loud with it, they be cuckoo. They be cuckoo. They really do.
I ain't got time. I ain't got time. You coming for my people because I'm
not talking
people.
About your people.
I'm just joking.
You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. You talking about a Shannon Survivor type thing. But our chat, shout out to our group chat. We have several for every show we cover. For the most part, we have a group chat on Instagram for it, right? And one of the girls in the chat, she was talking about like, I can't remember what she said. I'm a butcher what she said, but she was just like, Rhonda talking so much, all this focus on her stuff. She's like, I don't know nothing about Pat. Like, he got an interesting career. He has space something. He in space. I was shocked. We don't know nothing about him because we talking about Rhonda and everything's about Rhonda the whole time. It's like, is she interested in Pat and his career, his passions? Because I mean, it may be the edit. It may be the edit, but we can't see
She's
it.
not interested.
We can't
There's
see
no
it.
way that the edit could have gone so far that we just not at one point hear her asking.
I mean, it could be going.
Hell no. Because this is going to bring me to that friend and then every single conversation that happened after that friend. His friend. That came in and made him the problem.
friend. We do need to talk about
how
that.
How he make him the problem?
Because I ain't like that.
Pat, you might need a new friend because he was supposed to come in and be on your side. He was supposed to be bros over hoes, okay? He was supposed to
I ain't got time.
On your side. He know you've been struggling. Here he go. Well, that was just stupid. Why would you do that? And I'm like,
he's going to change that. He's got to change that. I'm like, first of all, you, sir, like, I ain't like that at all. And I was like, I didn't like that at all. I was like, Pat, just quite frankly, don't listen to your friend. Like, this is why you can't. That's why, again, I said about the therapist earlier, but friends also, you got to be rooted in yourself. You got to know what you're experiencing because they don't see the whole story. They don't see the whole picture. And you out here like, oh, well, maybe I do. It's like, you need to have a little bit. I mean, I'm not trying to say don't listen to nobody. Listen to the people. But you got to be firm in like, no, I'm really sensing some bullshit from her. And so maybe I'm not articulating that to you, friend, clearly enough, but the bullshit is there and I gotta trust my read on that. You don't see it, but I see it. So like hypothetically, if you felt that there was bullshit there, how would you respond in this situation? You gotta have them suspend their own feelings about certain things and just accept the fact and give me advice based on the facts I've presented to you.
Literally. Yeah, I did not like that at all. I said, how did we turn this around to Pat being the issue? And when she got up and was like, how is it that his friend understands and he just doesn't? I'm like, oh my God, here we go. But in these episodes, as I felt like Pat was digging deep to find something wrong with him, baby, he was like, well, I've done this all my life. It's not just you. I felt like that was...
Are you talking about his friend?
No. I'm talking about Pat.
Was digging deep?
Pat, because he was talking about how like he can't be himself and like all those things, right? I feel like I was like, I wonder if Pat has a habit of being easily manipulated and persuaded, because to me, I'm like, Rhonda is the clear issue here, like not absolving Pat of any issues. But this major thing that they keep coming back to in this relationship and the reason why it is not evolving the way that it possibly could, to me, it's because of Rhonda. And so I'm like, you have done some soul searching, looking for something again to be a people pleaser, to please Rhonda, to like give her something I feel like to attach to. And I hate that he did that because she just used it for everything. That she's gonna use that on decision day to say, I just need a man who knows that they can be themselves around me. I'm like, Pat, I don't know why you gave her
but
that power.
She need to say no.
No, yeah, she needs.
They need to say no, because I don't want that for Pat. I don't want that for Pat. Like, whether he say no, she say no, I need somebody to say no.
Agreed.
Because I do not like that from. And Pat's DM's gonna be full. Okay, the old lady's gonna be like, I know a patient man when I see one. Sir, do you need a plate? You need some biscuits. You need some gravy, sausage. You know what I'm saying? I'm cooking pancakes. They gonna be in his DMs.
No. I said Pat's ex-wife must have did a little number on him, baby, because not only did he stay, but he keeps being accommodating in this relationship with Rhonda. There's that to me. I'm like, He was with a crazy one. He was with a crazy one.
No, but you know what? I don't even put that on her, because I don't know what his ex was, but it's probably how he was raised. It's probably that childhood trauma or something in his childhood. Because was he speaking about his dad?
Yeah, he said that he just wanted to please his dad, so he went to the Air Force or whatever. But I'm like, you also found like a passion through all of this, so I don't know. Like, it's.
But I mean, I do think that that's the people pleaser probably started with his dad.
Yeah, it probably did.
That
it could have,
and it's carried over to everything.
It could have, because then
so
he felt the need
probably
to
met
stay
that ex-wife
in that marriage. Because he said he stayed for the kids.
Yeah, he probably met her
for the
as a people pleaser. Yeah.
But poor baby. I said, Lord, you done gave her ammo, because she just going to use this. She going to use it and abuse it, honey. She going to flip it up, put it in a nice little package, and send it to you every single time.
Yeah. Like, when she started talking about, I have a little bit of news, but I didn't hear that part, but I saw her looking sad and being like, and I'm like, oh Lord, this girl, she out here being sad again. This girl bring up sadness all the time, that when it came to the real sadness, I was like, girl, I was fatigued. Yeah. So
I'm actually glad you said that, because she is a sad one. She's very sad. Like, she be sad. She be crying, and she be finding something to be sad about. The song made her sad. Yes. The drive made her sad.
Telling you a deep thing.
Yes. She's a moody
and I'm
one.
I'm an emotional girl, and I'm like, but I never like look. I mean, everybody's different. Whatever. My emotions not gonna express the same as hers, because that's a thing. Everybody in my life know that. My sister said, she said, oh my God, whenever you have a child, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take your emotions like you, because I'm an emotional one. Like, I will cry at the drop of a hat. I'm just like, that's me. But Rhonda, she got me beat. She got me beat.
Yeah.
She got me beat.
Alrighty, let's go into Josh and Jalen. I didn't have too much on them these 2 episodes. I just called bullshit when he was like, I can already see myself going to Burning Man and you're not being there, and it's just not the same. I'm like, it'll actually be the same, because that's the only Burning Man you know. You only know Burning Man without Jalen. So there is actually like
That's real. But I'm like, did he say that he wasn't going to go? Is that what he said? Because I thought that's what
it sounded. It was alluding to, like, it's not the same. So it's like, I want to find something else to do. Like,
I thought he was saying he not going.
It was given that,
because I was like, I thought you were calling bullshit on that. Like, if he,
because he said, I can't see myself going without you. Yeah, which probably was like a little manipulation. Or coming from a place of like, if I say this, will she say, oh my God, no, I don't want you to not go, so I'll just go. But child, somebody put in our comments that somebody died at Burning Man last year, child.
Oh, I did see that comment. Yes.
Somebody else said it was, like, they brought up the 10 principles and stuff. It's giving a little cultish. It's giving a little something. I don't know for sure, but I definitely was like, baby, you only know Burning Man without Jalen, so let's not act like all of a sudden it's gonna be the experience of your life to take Jalen with you.
I mean, it probably would, but it's like, it's not going to change from the experience of your life that you've been having that makes you cry at the thought of her not being
there.
If
anything, it's going to make it worse, because you're going to be worried about her. You're going to have to be worried about her, because from what it sounds like, it ain't Jalen's thing. It's just not.
And you're gonna be wanting like, because like that people pleaser, because I got a little people pleaser in me too.
Yeah.
Like it's a little codependency maybe.
Yeah, me too, child.
But
me too.
one
me
of the
too.
things I'm like, but like when you're doing something with somebody else and you're like managing other people's experience, that's what he gonna do. He gonna do that shit, and he gonna be like, are you having fun? And it's like, you have to just release that. But I have to actively do that. I have to be like, okay, you're not managing everybody's experience and making sure they're having fun. And I don't think he is at a place where he's even gonna recognize that he needs to do that. So it is what it is. I did I laughed. That's what I mean. I laughed at in the beginning when they were at the couples retreat and they were like, what would you do if you were in your partner's body? And he was like, I'd have sex.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was like, I literally laughed out loud because I was like, this was so like, it's such a like weird, but it's like, it's honest. You know, he's actually being honest. And I'm like, okay.
Quite honestly, it was the only answer I was expecting from the men. I mean, and they all gave it in some form or fashion. Will was like, I would see myself naked. I think he was trying to give the classy version of it.
No, it's very different. He said he would have sex with him, like he want to know how it is to have sex with himself. Like,
I
how does
that's like a master. He wanted to be in. Okay, I got it.
No, yes. And so I was like, he meant that answer because he's like, I want to know, am I pleasing her? Am I pleasing her the way that I think I? So he's like, he's not even in his own body of experience. Like, he wants to know whether he's pleasing her. He's still people pleaser. Like, I ain't got time for this man. But I just thought that was so hilarious because I was like, it was an honest answer. And it was like, you know how people like, they say the quiet part out loud or whatever. It's like it's something I feel like if I was him, I would have kept that, you know? Kept that to myself, but like he said it, and I was like, it was funny. It was just hilarious to me because I was like, he mean that because anybody would just make that.
Yeah, and he shit.
So
great question, buddy.
But they did have the meetup with the friends. I will say I wasn't looking intensely at that part of it because it was giving a little boring.
It was.
But when they were asking them, like, oh, what do you guys have in common? And they were just kind of a little stumped, like, I mean, we both like music, but different kinds of music or whatever. I was just like, why you gotta have hobbies together? Y'all ain't gotta have hobbies together. You could just, if you like going out to couple, that's what the shit couples do. People go out to eat, you know what I'm saying? Go for walks, go you know, bike riding, go do. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not trying to say like do brainless, mindless, generic things together. I'm just saying that like there's plenty of stuff that everybody likes to do that you can do together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but also too, it could just be like
stuff. It ain't got to be an active hobby. Yeah, like we like pottery making together. It's like you ain't got to do all that. Just do your regular life shit together.
I don't
go to the grocery store together. I don't know.
I don't think you need to have like a whole bunch in common in that way with the partner. I think it's really do you enjoy being around this person because a lot of life with somebody is doing like a lot of nothingness. You know, it's a lot of like just being in the house together. I'm cooking while you're doing this. Like, do you enjoy the space that this person provides, and vice versa? So. I don't know. I think that what do you guys have in common thing? It's not really a thing. I want to know. Do you like being around them? That's what I want to know.
Right.
Are you annoyed or are you at ease? How do you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question, therapist. Like, what is it? The wrong finger.
But yeah. Anything else?
They be making it long.
Yeah, they do. They be up in the air with it too. But anyway.
I know. Yeah.
Anything else on these batch of episodes for Married at First Sight?
No. Do you have any predictions? That's the only thing I was thinking of. Like, you think Jalen and Josh gonna say yes? No.
Megan and Derrick are the only ones
need to say no.
That I think are gonna say yes. I think everyone else is a no, and I think that everybody else has clear reasons to say no.
Yeah, I think Josh is gonna be a yes, but I think Jalen.
Yeah, I think Jalen is gonna say no,
and Josh.
I would bet that Chad and both Belinda might say no.
think Chad gonna say
You think
yes
so?
because he think he can force a square peg into a round hole. I think he never realized. He thinks that's what my personal
Yeah.
thought is. I think he gonna say yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as someone who is like pausing to assess how does this actually fit and work with my life. I think he's sort of stereotyped her as the quiet, nice, good wife, and all these things that are coming out that show you that she's actually a strong woman who's going to, affirm her needs. All those things I feel like are what he thinks is like a temporary blimp of like, you know, experience with her, but she's really just this nice, sweet woman. And I don't think he sees her fully. I think he sees what he wants to see in her and he likes what he likes about her. But so I think he's gonna say yes. I think he doesn't.
I can see that.
He doesn't see.
I can see that a little bit.
But he might surprise me. I don't know. But yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, folks.
All right, that's it, y'all. We will be back for the finale of Married at First Sight season 19. If you are watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you give us a 5-star review. Share it with a friend. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We will catch you next week. Bye.
All right, bye.